Hello and welcome back to Inquisitor Martyr. Last time we tracked down the Savant and splattered him, and now we get to hop in the Crimson Wanderer and deal with the Eldar.
Your directive is quite straightforward, pilot. You must destroy those Wraith Lords, that is all.
What a glorious day! I've never had the chance to match weapons with Eldari combat walkers!
Your arrogance will be your downfall. There are 3 of those Xenos Knights on the battlefield.
Those constructs are so nimble and so graceful that even I cannot but marvel at their beauty. Still, they have no chance against good, sturdy Imperial plasteel.
So, I don't know if you guys have been following it, but it's kind of hard not to these days. If you follow any like YouTuber, Twitch stuff. But like, there's been a lot of stuff going on with VTubers lately. And this isn't me having like a boomer moment being like, dang kids running around pretending to be JPEGs. No, I understand the whole VTuber thing. It's whatever. It gets views, so I can't really fault them. Hell, if I could afford a nice VTuber setup, I would, but I also don't know what I'd be. But lately, there's been a lot of stuff going on with them. A couple of them were getting a lot of flack for playing Hogwarts Legacy, which, like, the game's not bad. It's okay, the combat's a little repetitive, but it's to be expected. But they were just getting tons of harassment for playing that game, to the point where one flat out is quitting, which I think is really sad. Like, letting crazy people harass you to the point of quitting your job. Some people gotta go touch grass.
I'm beginning to find your dourness almost disheartening.
It's like, come on, it's just a game, grow up. Of course, it's people who have such cognitive dissonance, it's not even funny. Because they'll claim that Hogwarts Legacy is directly contributing to the death of trans people. Meanwhile, they go to Universal Studios, which has a Harry Potter land, where money goes directly to J.K. Rowling anyways, and they don't put 2 and 2 together. And there's no correlation. But people are crazy. And they don't fully understand that by coming off as completely unhinged and harassing people, they're doing more damage to their cause than good. But who am I to tell people how to conduct themselves? If people want to act like loons on the internet, that's their prerogative. Oh my god, does everybody have to pop up in this mission to say some stupid line?
What is this? Who are you, creature?
I weep and I mourn for the lithe dancer. Even if I
I don't care, Harlequin. Please get off my screen.
Mind her annoying Xenos ways. She is... well, I don't know if she is our ally or enemy at the moment, and that bothers me.
We are standing on the same stage, wingless angel. The one who never died must be reborn, and this is the price we must pay.
Thank you, God. But I saw... on top of that, there was another VTuber who... they got fired, which I don't see that happen very often. But they were one of the, I'd say, quote-unquote proper VTubers signed to a company, the whole 9 yards, not just someone who's using a PNG while streaming. But they got fired, and I looked into it, I was like, what? I don't see this happen very often. Let's see what's going down. And it wasn't shocking to me in the slightest. it was stuff like, oh, made some disparaging remarks, said something on a social media page they ran that about like the inner workings of the company and something. There was something about could cause damage to the brand. Just a bunch of stuff like that. And the whole time I'm looking at this, I'm going, yeah, of course you're going to get fired for this. If you are a contracted VTuber, you are, at the end of the day, a product. It's, to a similar degree, it's the same with my channel here. I am a brand. I'm a person, but the Big Mjolnir name kind of becomes a brand. I, as the sole proprietor of this fine establishment, I get to decide what that is, which the brand happens to just be me. Saying what I want, playing what I want. Styling and profiling like Ric Flair. But that's just my whole thing. And it's the problem, I think some of these people, they sign these contracts with these VTuber companies and they forget they're still a company. Yes, you can inject your personality into your avatar, but you're still owned by a company. You're gonna have to act according to their constraints and wishes. The only way I could see someone getting kind of around that would be if you were a pre-established quote-unquote character and then you signed to a company. The best way I can also kind of draw an analogy here is using wrestling, but the wrestler Cody Rhodes. He was Cody Rhodes on both AEW and on WWE. He had his own entrance music that he made, that he used on both shows, and had I believe he personally trademarked the American Nightmare so that he could use it wherever he went. And that would be the smart option for some of these VTubers, is to be their brand first and foremost, and then sign to a company. Yeah, it's a lot rougher trying to muscle into the market, especially VTubing, oh my god. When all you need in some of these cases is a PNG and a computer that can stream, it gets kind of fierce in that competitive nature, in that whole field. But yeah, it's unfortunate people think or forget at the end of the day they're still under contract. I had to laugh because some of the stuff was saying like disparaging things about a game they were playing, and I'm just sitting there thinking, damn, I'm not disparaging, I'm just critical of games. But like, I'd probably get dinged for something. Why did you call the developers a denthead? Probably because they are. It is unfortunate. I'll keep saying it because I do think it is true. And you have to commend the people behind it. You know, these characters, these VTubers, wouldn't be where they were without the person behind the screen. Or there's a chance they wouldn't be the person. Would Kason be the same person if someone else was behind that? I don't know. Would Iron Mouse, would Gargura? The fish one? The shark girl? I'm just thinking of like the big ones I've seen that I see on like YouTube or Twitch. Them. There's others I can't remember. I don't exactly cross paths with them very often. Yeah, it's... Because even the whole, like, brand thing... I had talked to my father a while back, and he had said, oh, one of my coworkers, their son wants to be a YouTuber. And first thing I said is, I'm the wrong person to talk to. I have a modicum of success. You know, I got you guys here. Always appreciate it. You're the real ones. But I'm not PewDiePie. I'm not any of the big names, but I also didn't really get in. This channel has existed since like 2011, but I never really dove into it until that whole YouTuber boom kind of started dying down. But I had said, you know, a big thing is learn editing software, get editing software, get a photo or image editing program like Photoshop or something. Don't expect immediate success. And at the end of the day, you become a brand. That can be applied to anyone. PewDiePie became a brand. Markiplier, a brand. Shroud, a brand. It's just, we're also people. There's a difference between me playing video games and Comcast. Or for people on the East Coast, Spectrum. Which if you're on the East Coast, I feel really sorry for you. I've heard Spectrum is awful. I've never heard a good thing about that company. I mean, I've never heard a good thing about Comcast either, but I thought I was the only one stuck with a terrible ISP. Who knew they were kind of a universal concept? God, I love just blowing stuff up in this Imperial Knight. I said before, I want an Imperial Knight game. This would be so fun. Especially because there's so many different classes of knight and all that. Man, I really wish I had the money to have bought that Imperial Knight I saw at my hobby shop. I would have bought that. Because I looked up the price afterwards, 120 bucks for an assembled and painted Imperial Knight? Those things go 170 unassembled. It looked good. Or I saw one lot on eBay. I wish I'd bought it. Guy wanted 110 bucks plus like 34 bucks shipping and handling because he's in the UK for... I think, did I mention this? I feel like I did, but I might have not. 2 Lehman Russes, replacement turret, Ursarker Creed, some infantry guys, and a Baneblade. And I'm like, dude, the Baneblade alone is $200. That's beyond a steal. That's like grand larceny.
Constructs are gone, and no more reinforcements can get through the gate.
I also saw a dude who wanted 400 for a Cornate army, which sounds like a lot, but oh my god, it had a Lord of Blood, it had a couple like Rhino tanks, a couple other things, a ton of infantry. I was like, okay, it looked good. It was worth the money. Okay, back to critical hit. Okay, so what's my crit looking like? 9%, okay. I can work with that. Oh, we're so close. Then we get our 3rd perk slot, which will be... What am I putting in here? God, I'm seeing a lot of crap that's just not worth it. Vulnerability? I guess? I'm just not seeing a whole lot here. Maybe... No, not close quarters gunnery. Maybe Keen Fury? That's... I don't know, man. Maybe I'll just put Eternal Warrior for now. But that's not very useful because I'm not in a position where I'm getting killed. Oh, and I already have close quarters gunnery. Huh. Yeah, that's gonna be a we'll cross that bridge when we get to it kind of situation.
We have the up-to-date Arga information. The vicinity of the ruins is swarming with Tuathal Eldari.
At least the Crimson Wanderer took care of the potential reinforcements.
The Elder will pose a considerable threat. Have you thought about deploying Sir Caradoc again?
I cannot risk the safety of the artifact by sending in a war machine with the most devastating weaponry in the entire system.
Noted. The Tech Priest is trying to scan the area for further information.
I'm on my way to the ruins. Contact me when the Tech Priest is finished with the scans.
So I was sitting there while I was loading in, I was thinking, why don't we get more Imperial Knight or more Baneblade missions? I know it's a Shadow Sword if you want to be specific, but it's easier just to refer to it as a Baneblade. It's a Baneblade chassis with a different gun. It's just like saying a Lehman Russ tank instead of specifying a Lehman Russ Executioner or a Lehman Russ. Don't know why I'm putting an H at the end of that. Lehman Russ Executioner or a Punisher or any of those. If you want to get specific, you can get specific, but it's easier just for simplicity's sake. But I realized the reason we don't get those missions much afterwards, or I think at all, is because you don't get any loot. I don't even think you get XP, so they're just kind of set-piece missions. So I understand it, I just wish we would then get some rewards. But also, speaking of YouTubers and whatnot, I saw Dr. Disrespect, man, cannot exist without putting his foot in his mouth. He ended up tweeting out stuff saying he's talking about his game DeadDrop, which, if you don't know, it's a extraction shooter. Wow, much original, very unique, but it involves crypto and Web3 and NFTs. And he says, oh, imagine, oh, it's along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing here, but effectively, imagine the excitement for both viewers and players of being able to extract with an item worth $100,000 on the blockchain. And everybody ripped the man a new hole. Rightfully so. It wasn't even, like, aggressive dogpiling the man. It was more of everyone going, you realize this is a stupid idea. And him just being like, oh, the haters. It's like, no, this is actually genuinely stupid. Which, it shouldn't take me to tell you, but I will say it anyways. People cheat in Tarkov. People cheat in COD Warzone. People cheat in every damn game imaginable where there's no money on the line. And you have the gall, the audacity, the malformed medulla oblongata to sit down and go, ah yes, the game where potentially thousands of dollars can be earned or lost. No one will cheat. If you had a anti-cheat that worked with that, you would have the best anti-cheat in the world. You would have a multi-billion-dollar valued anti-cheat because everyone and their mother would be throwing money at you to use it. And people pointed out, what protection do you have? Is there a leeway between items being available to be sold so that people can kind of report hackers? And if so, what's stopping people from grouping up? And let's say it's me and a friend. I have some $1,000 crypto buck piece of armor, and I'm about to die. What's stopping me from turning to my friend going, hey, turn on the aimbot, pop me in the noodle? The game will protect me and count my gear as being safe because I died to a hacker. Because people will absolutely use that as a failsafe. Or, hey, the hat. What's stopping people from going, oh, essentially Exfil Camper or General Sam, oh, I'm going to be a rat. Everybody has to leave or typically leaves through this exit. I'm just going to hide around a corner and just flatten whoever I see the second they come out of this corner or this doorway. The path of least resistance is followed the most ardently when there's stuff on the line. The risk-reward aspect will get immense. And of course, there's the question people asked, who the hell's gonna value something at $100,000? Or $10,000? If it's an in-game item, it would have to be... There's very few options, okay? So, you'd have skins, which, if you're paying $10,000 for a skin, you're smoking crack. There's no two ways around that. $100,000 for a skin, like, unless that skin guarantees you, you know, access to Elysium when you pass, you're getting hustled. So, if it's not a skin, is it an item? Is it a gun? Well, it has to be immensely powerful to be worth that much. It would have to be, like, essentially legal cheats. Oh, it's an aimbot. It one-taps. It has to give you so many advantages that its value is justified. Armor, it has to make you near invincible. If not full-on invincible. It has to be so stupidly strong that the price tag is worth it. Otherwise, nothing's going to be worth that much. You really think people are going to pay $1,000 for body armor that's purple? Oh, it's purple colored, isn't that neat? You can buy it, you know, on the chain. No, that's stupid. That's a waste. And it's a bad idea. The only way that this kind of stuff can really work is the CSGO key crate system. Short of that, every other system is very easily gamed, it's very easily exploited, and it's just going to be rife with shiesty shit. I can guarantee, day one what will happen is you're going to have a bunch of copies. I think the game's free to play, which is going to make everything even... Oh god, it's going to be even worse. What'll happen is you'll get some dude who goes, hey, I'm going to hire, you know, some Malaysian kids to play this game for, I don't know, $30 a day. We're going to hire 10 kids. Okay, $300 a day to play this game. And they're going to hand over any stuff they get to me. Or they're going to cheat and hand over whatever they get to me, and then I sell it. That's what people are going to do. They're going to use some form of labor to farm items. And then depending on drop rates and what have you, and how frequently people buy and sell these goods, the market will likely implode. I just realized that was Dark Eldar. Huh. That was weird. Hang on, does this turret heal me? Oh my god, it heals me. That is wild. Okay, new strat for anybody playing this class. Get the Healy turret. 'Cause you can just survive. I bet you could do some real crackhead stuff. And if you could plop down 2 of these bad boys and have them both heal you simultaneously. Okay, so I guess melee is a viable option. That's kind of cool. I respect that. But yeah, the stuff with Doc and DeadDrop and all this. The thing that's annoying is the guy always responds as Dr. Disrespect. And when it comes to a game and business decisions, I don't want to talk to Dr. Disrespect. He can blow it out his ass. Doc is a arrogant, self-righteous douche canoe of a human being. I want to talk to Guy Beam, the man behind Doc. The guy who, hopefully, is better than Doc. Because I feel like if you're going to have a rational conversation, you're going to have a conversation with the person who isn't the character. But that's the unfortunate reality here, is we're stuck talking to Dr. Disrespect, and what do you expect from a guy with that name? Not exactly expecting understanding and nuanced concepts or ideas. I'm expecting a guy who's just going to call you a loser and not give a damn. Which is unfortunate, because I have respect for him for the fact that he actually put up money to make a game. A lot of people who have the capital to do it don't do that. So I can commend him for it. But at the same time, the Web3 stuff is just too much of a gamble. It's untested, there's not any real use case. Everybody always uses Axie Infinity. Oh, well, they did really good. Yeah, they also conveniently had like $600 million of their liquidity pool stolen, and then were totally fine somehow? I don't know, if my company just had over $500 million yoinked out of my wallet,
Many of them came here
I'd be a little
like
concerned.
insects drawn to the flame, only to end up as withered husks.
The remains of the Savant's expedition. But I am an Inquisitor. I will not fail.
I've seen some people say that it was an inside job taking the money.
You
I don't
have the
know.
living, breathing key to the prophecy.
I can't say for certain. The unfortunate reality is I can't see what happened personally. So it could be anything. Maybe they're just really good at bouncing back. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I just know it looks suspicious.
Highly irregular energy signature located.
That signature most certainly.
And it's really the only success
Must be
story
that.
in the field.
Correct. This is the ideal destination.
This is also, I just realized, the last mission for this DLC. Getting to level 30, though, just off the Prophecy DLC alone, that's not a bad speed to get everything done.
I should have survived.
Skip this, because it's just her wanting the hat. Or no, we have to fight the guys, then we get the hat. Oh, this is also a little old news now, but the studio behind Forspoken, I think? Yeah, that sounds about right. They ended up getting, like, merged back into Square Enix, which I do kind of laugh at, that Square just was like, nah, you tanked this very studio, your sales were underperforming, you're coming back into the fold. Quick, my little robots, keep poking him. Oh, there's the other one. Let's deal with this fire prism, then we'll turn to the wave serpent, I think it is. Kind of wish there was an ability or something that was like coolant dump that would just let you. I would take damage in exchange for faster heat weapon cooling, just because sometimes I really need DPS. Yay, what do we get? Wow, that is a whole lot of nothing. Oh well.
Sergeant, I need the Alpha Prime.
Here is your fancy
Serious,
hat.
Inquisitor. I feel a resonance with this thing, but none of us know what will happen if I step closer.
I give you an artifact from the dawn of the universe, the key that might unlock your true potential, and suddenly you are afraid.
I was only making an observation in the light of my recent ordeals. I hope you don't expect me to apologize.
My expectations are irrelevant. My orders matter, however.
If this is indeed my legacy, you can expect a heartfelt apology from me.
We will discuss your impertinence later. Now proceed.
Bravo! What a fabulous performance. Inquisitor, my only remaining part in this play is to take the Alpha Pariah with me and let the curtain fall.
I knew that I couldn't trust you. You have manipulated me, Eldar.
I have merely woven all the threads together, twinning the fate of the Talthal Eldari and yourself, Inquisitor, until you all made this moment happen together.
I've warned you once. Playing games with an Inquisitor is dangerous, even for your kind.
This is not a game, human. The Anathema Ultima must be adorned with the crown of emptiness. Only then will she enter the Immaterium to fulfill a destiny both frightening and majestic.
I suspect that you have other plans for her.
The Anathema Ultima is the brightest glimmer of hope for us. For the Inari, this is inevitable.
I was expecting at least some assistance from you.
It was your battle to fight, not mine.
And now you talk like the Harlequin. How are you feeling?
It is difficult to explain. My will is... It is a barbed, poisonous thing. And it is also smooth and cold as obsidian. And it is a weapon, and a key, and the tincture that heals the black wound on the world.
I don't like this. The Margos will take a look at you on the ship.
Such a bland way to end it, just... She stops talking, all my robots just jump her.
We have gathered here to bring forth the prophecy that was foretold at the dawn of the galaxy. The Alpha Pariah shall be adorned by the crown of emptiness and destroy the Dark Nexus by sailing into the Imperium.
Very poetic, also fundamentally wrong. The Dark Nexus is not our priority here. Fabius Bile is one of the most abhorrent adversaries of the Imperium. we shall attack his hideout. I have traveled here on the Martyr, now properly purged and blessed, with the zealots of my order on board. It should be a sufficient force.
So very hereticous of you. May I remind you that Bile's Starfort is inconveniently close to the most terrible warp anomaly ever seen in this sector?
They use this Alpha Pariah to destroy Bile. That's where her true capabilities lie, don't they? Before we deal with the Dark Nexus, we have to eliminate the Primogenitor.
I must object. We simply cannot allow the Alpha Pariah to get close to Bile. That traitor played a huge part in her creation. What if he seizes control of her? Use her to obliterate the Dark Nexus, which is also the source of Bile's power. Then we will deal with the Primogenitor on our own.
You know the Alpha Pariah the best, Inquisitor. I think you should have your say before I chime in.
I forgot we actually have like one more mission because we have to face off against Fabulous Bill. Yep. Keep going with the classic. Gotta be a Puritan.
It is most unfortunate, but I must respectfully disagree with your decision, Inquisitor. It seems we have reached an impasse. And honestly, this is her fate we are talking about. This should be her decision. Whatever action the Alpha Pariah takes, it will have colossal consequences. I simply don't have a say in this matter.
Nonsense! We are Inquisitors. We rule over life and death for the sake of the Imperium.
Inquisitor Mercer, I really appreciate your concerns. Inquisitor Crabart, I even see your point. But I made my decision a long time ago. I will follow the prophecy. But first, I will kill Fabius Bile. I have seen some of my unsuccessful iterations in Uther's laboratory. The cursed handiworks of Bile. I have to stop him and end this cycle of suffering and pain. I want to destroy that worm. On one condition.
What would that be?
You, Inquisitor, will accompany me, and we will face Fabius Bile together.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, don't know why it was giving me the lore bit right there. But let's go through our gear. I'm seeing a whole lot of nothing. If only it was the Techno-Martyr girdle. That'd be nice, except for the shotgun bleeding skill. That's a waste. We'll go with that, even though that one has loot quantity, that also gives single target hit damage, and I can use that. That's pretty cool, getting the Neuralis Psalm. That'll be useful. Yeah, that just blows. There's no two ways around it. All these armors are just meh at best. Castellan, I don't have it, I think. Yeah, all this gear is just kind of... It's not even me being like, oh, I need to keep all my loot quantity stuff. It's just they're not that good. Like, blues are just terrible. Even if it's a higher quality, it's not worth it. Oh, 15% XP. And then Cataphron Vanguard boost. That's not a lot to really try to justify its use in my eyes. Didn't want to hit co-op. We'll save the intel. Might do a couple runs. What do we want to put everything else into? Bionics might be the way to go. The all resist is good. Because, see, the damage would be nice. But a 25% damage bonus for the tech adept and constructs, that's a good chunk of damage. We can always rearrange it. And now, perk. Oh, sweet, we get Puritan. Alright, we're golden. 55% heat damage bonus while you have an active energy shield. Heat damage weapon. Shield HP regen. 2% of my max HP per Puritan morality point. Okay, so can we see a thing where my shield is? No. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I can actually start putting into these a bit. Bonus damage against demons. Bonus damage against Chaos and Dark Eldar. Easy. Yeah, it takes away from every other tree I'm putting into, but flat damage ups? Am I really going to say no to just, here's some damage? Of course not. But that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button, it helps out the channel a lot, and if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.